and welcome back to A Tale of Two Toasts. I'm Kate, and today we're going to be making Neuries, a traditional Goan sweet in a non-traditional way. So let's learn what this hack is all about.
Hello everyone, my name is Nadine and I am Kate's good friend from Bombay and we've had so many beautiful memories together. She's one of the closest friends I have and I'm so happy to see her in this channel and what she's doing and bringing out these wonderful recipes. So me and my husband are based out of Bangalore. We live in Bangalore but originally from Mumbai. And Christmas is a season that is very, very close to my heart because I think of two main reasons. One is because of the reason why we celebrate Christmas, that is the church, gathering together and, having a beautiful time, just thanking Jesus for coming into this world. And the other beautiful part about Christmas is family, because that is what I remember about Christmas at the time I'm small, that we used to all gather at my grandmother's place. And her big table would be laid with around 15 to 20 items with lots of sweets and just the entire family coming together. We would exchange sweets and we would exchange gifts, and there was so much of love, so much of togetherness. And trust me, every year, if I miss something, I still miss that, gathering at her house and celebrating. And some of the most beautiful sweets that she used to make, and we used to make as family together, were kalkas or coconut bark, her walnut cake, and just delicious sweets. And also one more thing, my mom and my grandmother and everyone, they would gather together and they would make lovely sweets, especially the kalkas and the Neuries and everything. Just doing it together as a family itself was so beautiful, so memorable, and etched memories forever. So as Katie told the recipe, I hope you'll make it and enjoy this Christmas season.
I'm going to start by making the coconut filling. And to do that, I'm going to have to roast a third of a cup of desiccated coconut and a third of a cup of semolina. I have fine semolina here. And we're going to roast them till they're fragrant, but they don't have too much of a brown color. So we've roasted our coconut or toasted it on a hot pan with no oil until it's light like this and very fragrant. And we've done the same for the semolina as well. And now we're going to mix both of these things in a large bowl. Now my portions are for just like 2 Neuries. It's usually made in larger batches, but today I'm just going to be making 2. And I'm going to add some raisins. This is about a tablespoon. And some icing sugar. I'm using about a third of a cup, but you could use more or less depending on whatever you like. I'm also going to add about a few drops of vanilla and then mix them all together. And now that it's mixed together, the filling is ready. And now I'm going to introduce you to the best hack for Neuries, and that is puff pastry. So you don't need to roll out a lot of pastry dough and deep fry. We're just going to use puff pastry and we're going to bake it in the oven or put it in the air fryer, which is going to save us a lot of time and make it a little healthier as well. So to do that, I have taken a pre-rolled whole wheat puff pastry. And the first one, and as tradition in my home, is going to be in the shape of a cross. And that's typically how Christmas sweets are made. The first one being in a cross, and when you go for midnight mass, which is tradition from where I'm from, when you're back home, that's the first thing the family breaks and eats together, which is my favorite Christmas tradition as well. So I'm going to shape this filling in the shape of a cross. And I'm going to add a second sheet of the pastry on top and just, lightly with my fingers, just carve out the rest of the cross. And once you've shaped that, I'm going to take a pizza cutter and just cut off the extra puff pastry bits like this. And you can make this a little fancy with a few cuts like this, just to give it some added texture. Now this is how you shape the traditional ones. So you're going to take one of these and some filling.
What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping.
We're going to take a little filling, put it in, and fold it into a semicircle. Now this used to be something that we used to do. We used to make like so many of back home in India, and we had a very nice, shape cutter. So when you cut off the ends with that, it was like a pizza cutter, but it had like a curly edge. So when you cut off, it would give it a really pretty shape. I don't have that here, so I'm going to show you another trick. Yeah. So I'm going to use a fork to make the edges look really pretty. Kind of like a hand apple pie, isn't it? But no apples in this one. And now you can bake it in the oven. I'm going to bake it at 350 for around 10 to 15 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. But follow the instructions of the puff pastry that you're using, because different brands often have different instructions. So it's out of the oven and it looks good. It's got a very pretty browning. But I must say, if I had to do this again, I wouldn't use whole wheat pastry, simply because it's a little thick and a little more difficult to work with. So your finesse is not as pretty. If you use white flour puff pastry, it's much easier to handle. So that's the only change. I'm gonna give this a try. Now, typically I don't eat these sweets until Christmas, because we always waited until Christmas, and that's just what we did. So I have a small teeny meeny version here, which I'm gonna try just so that you know what it tastes like. Yeah, definitely tastes like home and definitely tastes like Christmas. Very happy I tried it this way without deep frying, so there's no guilt. You can make a very small batch. These sweets are typically made in we used to make like 50, 60 of these and share them with everyone. But here it's just for me and my husband, so I'm just making 2 of them and they work fine. Very happy about that. If you have made it this far, I'd request you to share this with someone who is just moved away from home, and it gets kind of lonely at Christmas. So if you share this recipe with them, it's an easy hack and it's something that they can maybe try and give them a little taste of home during the Christmas season. It definitely does that for me. So, yep, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this little bite, and I hope you try it, and I hope you share it with someone who might find it easy enough to try and have a little bit of Christmas this time. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a wonderful week. Bye bye.